Happy new month to you that is watching. Hope and trust that you're doing good. Hope and trust that your day has been good. And wherever you're watching from, please do drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Please do drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. Guys, like and share this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast, like and share, tag somebody so that they can be part and parcel of our segment tonight. You are welcome to Moments with Inonge, a platform that is dedicated to personal awareness and development. I am your sister Inonge, and please ensure that you like and share, show me some love, like and share, drop your comments, let me know where you're watching from. Today's segment is packed because it's the first day of the month, and as per tradition, I get to unveil the theme of the month, which is actually going to direct us in whatever discussions that we're going to be having. So it's jam packed because the first of the month has actually fallen on a Monday. So we're combining two in one. So we're combining the unveiling of the theme of the month as well as motivation. Guys, drop your comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And everybody that is tuned in, thank you so much for finding time to be part and parcel of our motivational segment. So for those that are not too familiar with the schedule for Moments with Inonge, I come on live every Sunday at 1 p.m. for the inspirational segment. And every Monday we have the motivational segment. Sometimes this intertwines with the financial literacy segment. And we also have the leadership segment every Tuesday at 19:45 p.m. Then during the course of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I do drop some quotes, some inspirational stories, songs, and whatever it is that I find that will benefit you, just to keep you going and will just push you. So please, guys, for those that haven't yet enrolled for the free 30 minutes coaching session, please ensure that you do. It is called The History of Your Future. And this is just to give you a clear. Also have one-on-one coaching sessions as well as group coaching for those that are interested in putting your dream to the table. There's been an invitation for you to actually join the practical table. So I hope you guys have actually accepted that invitation and will actually be sitting together at the practical table. I guess I will talk about that as we go on in the session. So please, guys, drop your comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Like and share. Create a watch party if you're watching via Facebook. If you're watching via YouTube, please copy that link and forward it to a friend. So we have a comment from Daliso, and Daliso says, watching from Kalumbila. Daliso, hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning into our tonight's motivational segment. And we have a comment from Mutale. Mutale, hi, how are you doing? Mutale says, watching from Lusaka. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a comment from Mwangala, and Mwangala says, watching you, my mentor. Thank you so much. Mwangala is watching all the way from Mongu. We have Patrick, and Patrick says, watching from Mansa town. Mansa is in the Biu. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have a comment from Precious, and Precious is watching from within Lusaka. Baby girl, thank you so much for tuning into our segment. So guys, please ensure that anytime you've got a question in line with what I'm talking about, please ensure that you do drop those comments and let me know what your question would be, what your query would be, or what your contribution would be. Moments with Inonge is not a platform where Inonge does all the talking. I also learn from your wonderful comments. Every time you comment, every time you let me know what your mind is concerning the topic of discussion. I get encouraged too, I get inspired too, and I learn too. So please ensure that you always drop your comments and participate as the segment goes ahead. So happy new month once more. Happy new month to you that is watching and all those that will be watching the recorded session. Happy new month. In this new month, I wish you productivity, I wish you success, and I wish you progress. May the good Lord Almighty order your footsteps in this new month. Well, first things first, because today is the first day of March, we're going to get to unveil what the theme for this beautiful month of March is. What has been laid in my heart to share with you in the month of March? Well, like you know, we always get our things from scripture, so don't get it twisted. This ain't the inspirational segment, but because the first of March has fallen on a Monday, which is the motivational segment, because I am unveiling the theme, I'll just have to take you to the scripture. So we have two very, very important scriptures where we're actually going to be taking our theme from. And the first is coming from 1 Chronicles 12 and 32. And this is the American Standard Version. And the Bible reads, "And of the children of Issachar, men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their command." I just love this scripture. It's very packed and it says a whole lot. It says a lot about the children of Issachar. It tells us to say, it tells us about, what gave them authority, what gave them, power, what really established them. And our topic for discussion in tonight's segment is what will establish me? What will establish me? Many other times we look at certain people and we go like, that person is established in their business, or we go like, that person seems established in their business. Guys, what is it really that causes us to point at other people and say, you know what, I think that person is established? Or maybe not even I think, let's remove the I think, but we'll go ahead and say that person is established in their business. What is it really that would actually get us to, say those things? So as we're unveiling the theme for this month, like I just read in 1 Chronicles 12 and 32, we realize that the children of Issachar were men that had understanding of the times. They are men that had understandings of the times to know what Israel ought to do. So they had understanding of the times, and this understanding of the times gave them the knowledge of what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandments. So from what we can see in the scripture is that the children of Issachar were actually the heads. They're the ones who were calling the shots. They're the ones that were, passing on commandments. Why is it? It is because they understood the times. So from this scripture, we can actually tell that what is going to establish you and I is actually understanding of the times, the time that we are in would tell us what to do. When you understand the times, when you understand the seasons, you will get to know what to do. Like the children of Issachar said, the Bible said about them to say they were men of understanding. They had understanding of the times. Guys, in this time of COVID-19, what is your understanding of this time? because your understanding of this time is actually what is going to establish you. We know that COVID, this too shall pass away. But in the meantime, do you have the understanding of, this phase that we're going through? Because COVID is a passing phase. We have had so many pandemics, come and go. So even this too, it shall pass away. But then for it, not to leave you downcast, for it not to leave you, worn out, for it not to leave you, lifeless. You've got to understand the times. You've got to understand the times such that even when this COVID-19 passes, you'll be able to, have your ground. You'll be able to stand your ground. You'll be able to have a firm grip of whatever it is that you endeavor to do. This can only come through understanding the times. I would also like to share another scripture, which is actually our anchor scripture for the month of March. And this scripture, this is actually from the New International Version, Proverbs 24 and verse 3. It says, "By wisdom, a house is built, and through understanding, it is established." By wisdom, a house is built. By wisdom, a business is built, and through understanding, it is established. Through understanding, that business is established. I posed a question where I asked to say, guys, what is it really, that makes us talk about others to say, you know what, I think that person is established in their business. I think that person is established in whatever endeavor they are doing. See, what makes us say that is, the way they carry themselves out, what they are doing. You're going to realize that a function of doing great is by understanding. When you're great at something, you're great at it because it's not a trial and error thing, but it is because of understanding. It is because you've been doing this thing for some time and now you've gotten to know the nitty-gritties. Not that you know everything about it, but you have understanding. You have understanding of the basics. So because I have shared with you the importance of understanding and actually answered the question, what will establish me? I want to share with you what the theme for this month of March is. Well, the theme for this month is understanding will establish me. Understanding will establish me. Understanding will establish you. When you understand this time that we're going through, and when you understand the time that is coming after this, we can call this a time of recession. And after every recession, what happens? There are opportunities. So when you have understanding of this time to say, okay, this time is a time of COVID, things are slow, and things are going to get better. Then you are understanding the times. You are understanding that things are slow, but things are going to get better. And because you know that things are going to get better, what do? You start preparing yourself for the times when things are actually going to get better. What is going to establish me? What is going to establish you is your understanding of whatever endeavor that you are undertaking or that you desire to undertake. And to take us a little bit further, I just want to talk about the practical table. Because this month, I am so intentional about getting understanding. I am so intentional about understanding, proven successful strategies. I am so intentional about it. This is why the practical table is actually being launched in this month of March, because we have to understand that, it's not enough for us to have understanding only. Understanding will establish you, but how does understanding come? Understanding comes by you doing something. If you're just taught to say, this is how this works, and you just read to say, this is how this works, what is going to happen is you're just going to have the knowledge of how something works. But when you begin to do that thing, when you begin to take steps of action, you actually have understanding of how that thing works. And it is this understanding that is actually going to establish you. I'll give an example of myself. If I say I'm an accountant, and all I do is go to school and get that, no, in fact, let me say my aspiration is to become an accountant. I aspire to become an accountant. And because I aspire to become an accountant, that's all I do. All I do is that I just say, you know what, I'm going to be an accountant. I'm going to be an accountant, without actually taking the practical steps of going to school to actually learn about accounting. You see, if I don't go to school and learn and get certified as a chartered accountant, how then will I have understanding of carrying out the work of an accountant? And how then will I be diligent in my work? Guys, practice is what brings up understanding. And the success strategies, they are common. I may come to you and tell you what a success strategy is, and you tell me, like, you know what, I've heard that 1,000 times. But if you've heard that 1,000 times, what differentiates you from the person who's actually implemented that success strategy and yourself? What differentiates you will be the ability of actually practicing it. You see, there's a saying that says to say, what distinguishes the successful from the unsuccessful is action. So this is why we have the practical table that is starting on the 3rd of March. This practical table is for us to share proven success strategies. And when we share those proven success strategies, we now begin to take practical steps. And on top of that, because this is a network of like-minded people, yes, it's a private group, but it is a network of like-minded people that, want to grow, people that desire to grow, people that are taking steps to grow towards their dream, towards their visions, towards their goals. So what is going to happen is, because we have learned the success strategy, or we have refreshed our memory, because some people know all the success strategies, but they don't get to implement them. So whether you hear the success strategies for the first time, or you actually you are reminded about what these success strategies are, what we're going to do is that we're going to have steps of action, where we're going to be practical about the strategies that we've shared. And because of this being private network, we're going to be paired with other people who we're going to be calling accountability partners. So what is going to happen is that those accountability partners will hold you accountable for the actions that you ought to take in line with the teaching, in line with the success strategies that have been shared. A lot of us, we go to seminars, we go to conferences, we go to workshops, we even go to church. We attend all these powerful gatherings. You'll find that some people, out of those powerful gatherings, certain concepts are born out of them, and, they just get going. They just get going with it. And before you know it, they become a success. But sometimes you find that you go for these seminars, for these conferences, and nothing really happens. Nothing really happens, not because the message was not powerful, but because you have not taken, the necessary steps. Maybe because you keep on telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start next week. Right now, I don't have time. Time is never going to be enough. If you're truly, intentional about growing yourself, about developing yourself, you've got to give time and chance to, being part and parcel of something new, part and parcel of something, that is going to cause you to grow, part and parcel of something that is going to make you, get away from procrastination. A lot of people, we love to procrastinate. And this is something that we really need to deal with. This is something that the Discover Coach Nana is going to deal with, procrastination. Guys, you don't want to miss this. So if you haven't yet already subscribed for the practical table, I encourage you to please do that. Ensure that you register for the practical table, and you will be blessed and you will grow alongside others. Sometimes we know what to do and we actually start doing it. Sometimes procrastination is not our problem, but we start doing something, but along the way, 2-3 days, we stop. Why? It is because we know, okay, nobody's watching us, and we're not accountable to anyone. So this is why at the practical table, we are actually going to be paired with accountability partners to help us to actually be accountable for those actions, that we're supposed to take in order for us to grow in our various endeavors. So guys, please make sure that you are part and parcel of this practical table, which starts on the 3rd of March. If you want to know how to go ahead with the registration, you can inbox me or you can WhatsApp me. Our WhatsApp line is on this page, so you can find it and just inbox me or just drop a comment and I'll be able to, attend to you and guide you. And for those that have registered but haven't yet received their receipts, please ensure that you inbox me that you haven't received your receipt but you've made the payment. It's very important that we issue you your receipt. So we're going to be starting on this practical table on the 3rd of March. So like I was saying, understanding will establish me. Understanding plus action. You get that understanding, you move into action. Get that understanding and move into action. That is what we're going to be doing all throughout this month of March. So like I said, today's segment is combined with unveiling the theme of the month, which I have just done. Understanding will establish me. Now we're moving into the motivational segment. And because I've done a lot of talking, though I love to talk, I'm going to give room for us to feed from other people, just to hear, what they have to tell us about taking action, because action is very important. Whatever you hear me talk about, whenever it moves you, whenever it inspires you, whenever it gives birth to a certain idea, please ensure that you follow through by taking action. So we're just gonna go to now the motivational part of this segment, and please guys, stay tuned and be encouraged.
Saying you want it bad will not get you results, but showing you want it bad will. Talking about it will not get you results. Doing it will. You see, in life, you have a choice. You can either be a spectator or you can be a participant. Spectators like to talk. Participants are all about action. You see, everybody talks a good game, don't they? But what separates the successful from the unknown is action. The successful, the champions of life, they take massive action. They don't hesitate. They don't procrastinate. They do not fear failure. They fear being average. Dreams can come true, but dreams need action. But there's a difference between a dream and a fairy tale. There's a difference in a dream and a good idea. See, a dream will keep coming back. A dream will not go away. I don't care how many years, how many months, how many days, that dream will keep coming back. Whatever dream you gotta have action, and if not, it's always gonna stay a fairy tale. In fact, it will stalk you. It will harass you until you give in and say, it is now time for me to launch. It's time for me to step out. It's time for me to jump and go for it.
Saying you want it back will not get you results, but showing you want it back will. Talking about it will not get you results. Doing it will. You see, everyone talks a good game, don't they? But separates the successful from the unknown is action. The successful, the champion, they all take massive action. They do not hesitate. They do not procrastinate. They do not fear failure. They fear average. They do not die wondering what might have been. Sure, they may fail. In fact, they will most likely fail more than the average person, but they keep going. They keep taking massive action because they know consistent action breeds success.
You don't want to live a life where you're all talk and no action. See, people say it all the time, talk is cheap. I've heard people say, you know what, you can have what you say. Which one is true? See, I believe talk is cheap if you don't have action. I believe you can have what you say, but you have to have action. In fact, faith without works is dead. The only way your dream can become your reality is that you have to have action. Talking alone will not make your dream a reality.
You will never live your dream life by talking about it, but you might just live your dream life by taking massive action towards it. The talkers are almost always the non-achievers. Talk is cheap. Don't be a talker, be a worker. Like Martin said, you just need to take the first step. Oftentimes, the hardest part is getting started. But once you give yourself that push, you will get going. If you dive in the deep end, you have to start swimming. Throw yourself in the deep end of life and push yourself to reach the top. When times are tough and things go wrong, do not stop taking action. Double or even triple your efforts if needed. Do whatever it takes and be a person of action. Will you decide to be a lion or a sheep, a leader or a follower, an action taker or a procrastinator? Remember, it's okay to be a dreamer, but it's better to be a planner and a worker.
Until your dream becomes the truth, or you might be discouraged. You're thinking about quitting. I tried it and it didn't work. I'm tired. Let me tell you something. You better renew your strength. You better get your hope back. You better get your smile back. You need to get your mojo back because no one can stop you but you. Now it's time for you to get out of bed. Now it's time for you to rise up. Now it's time for you to get up. Now it's time for you to stay up late. Now it's time for you to get focused. Now it's time for you to get committed, and you must take action.
Now it's time for you to get committed. Now it's time for you to take action. You must take action. Those were not my words. Those were words of some other motivational speaker, but those words are so, so true. It's not enough for you to have the knowledge. It's not enough to just say, this is what I want to become. You have to take action. You have to, be committed. You've got to push yourself to grow. You just have to take action. By all means, take action. Join the practical table. Be accountable for your actions and move in the right direction. Find yourself in an environment that promotes growth, that is not judgmental, where nobody is going to be able to look down on you to say, why is this person asking this question? Because everybody is there to learn. So take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of this opportunity to grow towards your dreams, to grow towards your goals, and to grow towards your vision. You cannot reach that vision. You cannot achieve that dream. You cannot achieve that goal without you growing. Because if you didn't have to grow, then you would have already been there. But the truth of the matter is, everything that is good is uphill. And for you to go uphill, you've got to stretch. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to push yourself. You have to be intentional. Growth does not happen automatically. You have to be intentional about it. For a tree, the fruit is going to bear is actually obvious. When you plant a mango tree, you expect a mango fruit. When you plant an orange tree, you expect an orange, fruit. But for us human beings, whatever comes out of us is because of the choices that we actually make. Make that choice to become better. Make that choice to achieve your dream. Make that choice to achieve your vision. Make that choice to achieve your goals. Make that choice to have an association of people that are like-minded. Join the Practical Table private group, and together let us grow. Well, guys, that's my invitation to you to join the Practical Table. The Practical Table awaits you and me. I have my seat secured. Do you have it secured? That's a question you can ask. Are you procrastinating or not? Are you a spectator or are you going to be a participant? You know, they say spectators talk. So are you going to be a spectator? Inonge keeps talking about the Practical Table, this, that. Or are you going to be a participant, taking action, being practical about the things that have been proven to actually help others succeed? You know, in the Practical Table, we're going to have Coach Nana, and she's going to, help us with procrastination. She's going to help us with self-confidence, because a lot of people, the thing that stops them from actually going out there and doing what they were born to do, the thing that stops them getting started with that $1 million idea is actually self-confidence. So we've got all that covered in the Practical Table. Why not join us? And I'll be sharing, secrets that my mentors, the ones that have caused me to be where I am today, and the ones that are still causing me to go to greater places, have shared with me. I cannot come online and share everything that my mentors share with me on a silver plate, because sometimes stuff that we get on a silver plate is not valued and it's not treasured. So this is why, if you think about it, I mean, to sit at the Practical Table for 25 kwacha per week, 50 kwacha for 2 weeks, 100 kwacha for 1 month, compared to the lessons that you're going to take, I mean, that's just like a drop in the ocean. But then that is my contribution to you. That is my contribution, to improving our community, improving our nation, improving our continent, improving the whole world as, a globe. So that is what I had for you on tonight's motivational segment. I hope and trust that you have heard something, and I hope and trust that you actually get understanding. And as you also get understanding, you are going to act upon that understanding in this month of March. Like last week's leadership segment, I was so encouraged by the growth that is actually happening in the lives of those that undertook the coaching sessions. So I would also want, at the end of this month of March, I would also want people to come through on Moments with Inonge and begin to share the testimonies of how the Practical Table has helped them. That blesses my heart to see people talking about how they've improved, how they've grown, really blesses me. So I hope and trust that you secure your seat at the Practical Table. So just before we wrap up this segment, allow me to share some comments from people that have been watching. And we have Chanda Banda watching from Western Province. Chanda, welcome. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of tonight's motivational show. And we have Elisha says watching. Elisha, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's motivational show. And we have Manfred says watching from Lilai. Manfred, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's motivational show. We have Janice, and Janice says she's watching from Minwood. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of tonight's motivational show. We also have Agnes, and Agnes says watching from home, sweet home. Thank you so much, Agnes, for being part and parcel of tonight's motivational show. We have Mutale says, kindly keep my seat in the Practical Table. Okay, Mutale, sure, will do. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. And I think I saw a comment from from Kim. Yeah, I did. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's motivational segment. Thank you for participating by letting us know where you are actually watching from. So, guys, that is the theme for this month of March. Understanding will establish me. I mean, every day you wake up, just tell yourself to say, understanding will establish me, and try by all means to get understanding of whatever endeavor you are going into. Just don't go into something without getting understanding about it. Do your due diligence and you will be good. You will be good. So, guys, we call it a wrap. Please stay tuned for the leadership segment tomorrow, 19:45 p.m. That's 7:45 p.m. Central African time. I love you guys. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for dropping your comments. Thank you for accepting the invitation to the practical table. Happy, happy, happy new month. Once again, I wish you success. I wish you progress, and I wish you productivity in this blessed, glorious new month. I love you so much, guys. Stay tuned and be transformed.